Good morning. So I woke up today and said, I have no idea what to talk to you all about or to show you. But I guess I could do sort of a garden tour. I watch a lot of gardening channels and they do a lot of garden tours and people tend to enjoy that. I don't have much of a garden to tour. I have flowers, I have little beds. But this channel and me as a gardener, I'm still growing. I just moved to this property in 2022 and it's just a suburban lot, and I'm trying to make it my best gardening life ever. But there's a lot of work to be done, and there's a lot still to do. Uh, so we're going to do a early June garden tour, I guess. So come along with me. I'm going to start here on the west side of my property because the sun is on the east, and right now this is shaded, and in the afternoon it is completely not shaded. So let me pull out a little bit. This is, if I see me in the window, that's me. um this is the west side right outside my garage, and I made a flower bed here. The flower bed existed, it just existed with basically like this loropetalum and that loropetalum. I believe I might have a before picture I can show you. I will try my best to dig it up and insert it here. But let's just take our time. Like I said, I have a small garden. It's not huge. We can actually take our time and we can talk about the plants. How about that? So let's start with my favorite, which is this lantana. So let's talk about lantanas. Lantanas are absolutely amazing. If you are in the South, you can get perennial lantanas that come back year after year. They are drought resistant. They love the sun. They love the humidity. Once they start blooming, like they start blooming in late spring, they just grow. Like it becomes a shrub, like a shrub that you cut down every year and it comes back bigger and better. The root system, like it just spreads and expands. It is amazing. Lantanas, if you want to become a confident gardener here in the South or really anywhere, a lantana is tough. There are some that are only annual, especially in other areas, but definitely there are perennial lantana in the South. I highly suggest you get yourself one. They come in different colors. I will get closer to this one, but they're just powerhouses. Like they just go, go, go. And as a matter of fact, in one spot, I have it competing with cannas and canna lilies. And if you know anything about canna lilies, they spread, they grow, they're very vigorous. But I'll show you how the competition is going there. All right, so let's get closer to this lantana. Look at the flowers. And this thing has just started to flower. This is nowhere near what it will be, but it gets all of these cute little flowers. This happens to be like an orange and yellow mixture on this one. It starts out a little bit lighter. They get darker as they go. But again, lantanas are amazing. So one of my favorite plants, and one of the plants that made me feel confident about ornamental gardening. Next, we will go down to my little hidden pot over here. So one year I planted sage. Another year I planted, what was the trailing one? Which they all look kind of dead. The ones coming out that are kind of trailing. But I can't remember what they were. Cannot remember what I put in there that was trailing, like a Dichondra Silver Falls or something, which I think is annual anyway. But the sage, this sage is, yes, sage that you can actually eat, but it also flowers and it becomes really pretty. I put this in here one year and it comes back every year. Also hidden in here, if you see these leaves, those are the leaves of a calla lily. If you watched my channel, you know that I love to tuck calla lilies in wherever I can because I love calla lilies. And these are the leaves. Look at the spotting on those leaves. Eventually it will flower. It'll be gorgeous. But that's what's in this pot. Now, another thing I did was I started these candy tuft flowers, which is this, from seed one year. And I put them in random spots, like up here, which I kind of regret. I thought they were going to create more of a mounding habit, but they just stick straight up in the air. So it's these, the purple. See that purple flower? That is a candy tuft. I thought that they would do more mounding, but they just randomly, like they're here. There's some over here. I've actually pulled some up from the front of the border before because they just stick up like strange weeds. All right, let's check out these beautiful Gaillardia. Bear with me because sometimes these names, plant names, can be really difficult. But these are Gaillardia. They come back year after year. They're perennial. I planted these in my border last year and they just continue to grow. And they're gorgeous when they flower. Like, look at those flowers. They're beautiful. Now, what I could do was come through and deadhead or cut off the spit flowers like these. I could just cut these back and then they'd produce more. Look at this candy tuft hiding. That's not a Gaillardia, that's a candy tuft. But Gaillardia, beautiful flowers. Now here we have, focusing on the purple, I have a little border here of the purple flowers, or Tradescantia, which they're related to the Tradescantia we often keep as houseplants, but these are perennial here in my zone 7B, 8A. I always say both. I refuse to accept that we're supposed to be 8A until I have a few more winters here. This last winter wasn't so bad, but the winter before that, our first winter, that was a 7B winter, almost a 7A winter. So I'm not accepting of it. But purple flowers, Tradescantia. Between them, I have sprinkled the Joseph's coat, that nice chartreuse color. I really like chartreuse and purple together. I don't know, I think that looks really pretty. And making a special appearance this year that I planted last year are these carnations, or dianthus. Dianthus flowers. Sometimes I just sprinkle seeds randomly, and I did not think these were coming, and here they are for a special appearance this year. So let's zoom in. Look at those carnations. Look at how pure white they are. Not bad carnations. Good show. And here, of course, we have salvia. I planted this the first year we got here. Salvia is consistent pollinator attractor. Always add it to your garden wherever you can. So here's a couple salvia. Here's a couple bulbs that I just randomly planted because bulbs. I just never know if bulbs, sometimes I get them all, sometimes I get a few. And I believe these will be gladiolas. Hold on, I'll scan it. Okay, so my phone thinks these are irises, but I thought I planted gladiolas. Oh, that is pretty flat, like an iris, huh? These pollinators, like, I don't know if you can hear the bees, but I have some of the hardest working bees in Georgia, in my garden. I appreciate you all. All right, so that bright pop of red back there, you see that? Those are coneflowers. Or echinacea. I absolutely love coneflowers. I absolutely love echinacea. Why are these my only ones? This is my only planting of coneflowers. I definitely have to get more. Also, behind the coneflowers, do you recognize this? Yeah, that's more lantana. Because it's lantana. It's a nice little scene up here at night because that little pot glows in the dark. I think I have a picture of that too if I can dig it up. I'm giving myself a lot of homework, so I'm making no promises. All right, so over here we have phlox that has not bloomed yet, but oh my goodness, is it ready to pop? Look at it. That is phlox. I kind of feel like it did bloom. Hold on. Did it bloom? And this is just what's left. I can't remember now. But that is phlox. Down here, and I kind of have this sprinkled everywhere. You see that yellow flower? That's coreopsis. I have coreopsis in my garden just as a ground cover in different spots. Like it's there. There is some there. It's not blooming, but it makes a good ground cover. I have some tucked in over here. Again, there's a few yellow blooms down there, but if nothing else, it makes a really good ground cover to hopefully help me save on some mulch at some point. Now, I'll tell you, this loropetalum looked amazing in the spring with all of its purple flowers. We gave it a trim, and look at us. We left all of the little branches. Not the neatest gardener, I'll be honest. But let's move on. Moving on. It's real life, people. I would love for this to be what I did professionally, but it's not. This is literally my garden. More coreopsis right here. Now here is the great canna and lantana competition. Yes, I have another lantana that loses its mind over here. I mean, look at this. It gets huge. Earlier in the spring, all you saw were the canna leaves. So look, here's the cannas trying. Some of them have bloomed out. Some of them still have a couple blooms on them. But I also am not going to get in the middle of this fight. I let them fight it out year after year. The canna has more room. If it's smart, it can spread more this way instead of trying to go in towards the lantana. It should be smart. It should spread out this way. There's more room back here. Come on, canna. Let your instincts take over. So this is our west garden bed. Not as neat as it could be, I'll be honest. We mulched and then did more work in it, which only makes you cover up your mulch after you did so much hard work. So not recommended. After you put down your nice, beautiful layer of mulch, I highly recommend you stay out your bed. If you want to keep it nice and pristine looking, which for my west garden here, the west side of my house, I like to try to make it a little neater because it is pretty public facing. It's right on the side of my garage. It's, neighbors can see it. Try to make it look a little pretty for them and for me. But, sometimes you just got to get in there and do what you got to do. Oh, I almost forgot. Now, this is not necessarily part of my west garden, but it is west facing. But it's on the other side of my fence. See that? These daylilies. I planted daylilies last year, and this is their first year actually blooming. Aren't they beautiful? Look at this. Well, here's Finn. Finn, say hi. He's very upset because I'm on one side of the fence and he's on the other. I'll get you in a second. I will get you in a second. But look at these. I'm hoping they grow up nice and pretty and, kind of spread a bit. The grill is a grill. It's not going anywhere. I'm not trying to camouflage it too much more than this, but just to make this little corner so when you enter the yard, something nice and pretty, pleasant to look at. But I'm really liking these daylilies. They are beautiful. Well, I hope you enjoyed my quick little west garden. Let's call it the west garden. Like, I have acres and acres of land or something, and I have to go section by section, because I have so much property. I have so much property to show you. So let's pretend, shall we, that this is the west garden. That's what we shall call this. the West Garden. I showed you the West Garden today. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see some of my other gardens, you know, the South Garden or the North Garden or the East Garden or the Butterfly Garden, my cut flower garden, my vegetable garden, the current state of that, let me know in the comments below and I'll upload another garden tour. Thank you for joining. Oh, and check out my mug. I just have to show you. It's gonna be backwards, but it says, sometimes when I open my mouth, my mother comes out. So very accurate. Enjoy your day or evening, whatever time you're watching this. Enjoy your life. Take care.